Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 21 of the Foodcast. We're so excited you're here. This is Heather.
And Patty. First of all, before we get into things, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. Thank you very, very much for your service and your sacrifice, especially to my personal special veteran, Mr. B.
Oh, Uncle Bots. I love it. Yay. So we are going to talk today about beating the fall blues. And I was just going to tell Patty about this fun thing I did recently, which I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the perfect way to beat the fall blues. Two girlfriends and I went out to a cooking class, and it was Mediterranean cooking, which is usually, pretty good with things I can eat. But I'm doing this autoimmune protocol right now, which limits a lot of my choices. So I figured, if nothing else, I can eat olives. So literally, seriously, not a joke, literally. So we went to this cooking class, and we're going through all of the things, and it's so funny because they go, oh, this could be gluten-free. You could eat this. I'm like, well, yeah, in a few weeks, sure.
Aww.
They're like, oh, you could try this. I'm like, yeah, but not today. Because, everything had cucumber. I'm like, I don't eat cucumber. Oh, it had onion. Onion's a FODMAP. I'm not on those right now. Oh, tomatoes and peppers. Like, oh, wait, those are nightshades. I can't eat those today. So I did eat olives. and the cooking lady, she goes, well, I don't have a lot of extra food because all the food is purchased, for the meals that we're making. But she managed to scrounge up a carrot. So a carrot. So we went to this beautiful cooking class. We made this really yummy stuff. We made dolmas, and we made I forget what the meat on a stick one is, but it was delicious. And the spices were, so yummy smelling. And I had a carrot.
And some olives. Oh, you poor thing.
And I brought home some containers of food. So hubby ate the rest. But yeah, it was fun.
So you didn't even freeze them for when you can eat everything? Not so
no,
sure.
Because it was all kind of thrown into one container.
Oh, okay.
You know how Mediterranean food could just be like a meal in a bowl?
Yeah.
It was that.
Okay.
So I didn't think freezing sounded like a great idea to me.
Well, that's all right. Then hubby got to eat it all.
Yeah, and he said it was great, and he liked it, and it was a really nice outing. I think we're going to do it again for gingerbread houses with the kids.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Very festive.
Yeah, so that's on the to-do list.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so that's my 2 cents for beating the fall blues.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too much more into it, I wanted to say welcome to episode 21, but that made me think, does this mean our podcast could drink?
I think that you could drink while listening to the podcast, for real. I would. Except I listen to it in the morning, so that's probably not the best thing to do.
Well, maybe not on a work day.
I don't know. Think about it, though. Like, this is like our little baby toddler who's now throwing 21 tantrums. I should be drinking more.
You should be drinking, yes,
sure.
If that were true. Although if I had a toddler and they were throwing 21 tantrums, I know I'd be drinking.
I think if you had a toddler close to you, you'd drink. But we don't know. Drinking is not the answer, people. Stop.
It is not. You're right. And
it's a fun activity, but it's not the way to get through day with children.
No, and that we're talking, we don't want to drink the blues away. So, but we are in that time of the year when most of the US does not seem as much sun as we would like.
That time change kills me every year.
Yeah, the time change last week. Yeah, for many of us, lack of sun can leave you feeling a little blue. In fact, there's an actual disorder for this response to the shorter days. It's called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, which I think is a very appropriate acronym because people are. But we're here to tell you a few things that you can do to combat this, and they're all really easy. First,
I like easy. Thank you.
Yeah, easy is the way to go.
It's real.
The bottom line on this is that your brain is reacting to the lack of sun. So the easiest way to combat this is to get more sun.
Which is easier in some places than others. Like in Denver, you're going to have way more sun than in Chicago. So good freaking luck and thanks for that. But you could also affect the rotation of the earth.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that they do that.
What I want to be in the on the equator.
It's so hot there.
Just a little tilt, just in the winter, just a little tilt.
No, what I am suggesting is that you get a lamp that mimics the effects of sunlight.
Those are very cool, but I don't understand how they're different from regular light.
All right, so not to get too sciencey, but light is measured in lumens, and the distance that the light can travel is measured in lux. So you don't really know anything more than that. But for comparison's sake, your average 100-watt light bulb emits about 1 lux. So think about that in comparison to how far the light from the sun has to travel to reach the earth. There's a pretty big difference, right? So while turning on the light in the morning can help you get you moving, it's not going to shake off those dreary blues. The lamps that I'm talking about, emit at least 10,000 lux, which signals your optic nerve that the sun is out.
So wait a minute. So these lights basically have the effect of having 10,000 100-watt light bulbs?
Yes.
That's a lot of light.
It is a lot of light. Now, they come with filters, obviously, so
you don't get sunburned.
Yeah, they filter out the UV light, so you don't have to worry about aging or sunburn. And they've really come down in price a lot in the last couple of years. You can get them, I don't know, $50, $75. We'll post a few links to someone from Amazon. Yeah, so they expose you to intense light, which then tricks your body and, all your photo cells on your skin and your optic nerve into thinking that there is sunlight out. And they're usually on a stand of some kind so that you can kind of sit in front of them. Obviously, you're going to want to wear sunglasses.
How long are you supposed to sit there?
Well, it depends on the lamp that you get. So the Mayo Clinic has a really great article on all the do's and don'ts. And so it'll tell you if you have this many lux, sit in front of it for this many minutes, this many times a day. And you're going to work up to it. You're obviously not going to just sit down for 20 minutes, maybe a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there throughout your day. And then you don't want to stop too soon. So you're like, maybe you think, hey, it's spring, but some springs can be kind of dreary too.
Rainy.
Yeah. So you don't want to stop too early, or you can kind of go backwards in your therapy. And that's what it's called. It's called light therapy. And incidentally,
so much therapy.
These lights are really good for shift workers too, or people that travel across time zones a lot, that get jet lag. And it's actually being used to treat some forms of dementia too. So again, the Mayo Clinic has some great resources, and we'll link to that in the show notes as well. And it'll tell you
really
again.
Smart there.
They really are, for what they do.
I know. I love it. And they're in Minneapolis, which will be about an hour away from where my dear child will be at college. So
she can pop in and say, hey, tell me what you know.
If she needs some dramatic help, they're right there.
Yeah. So light therapy is probably the easiest, and especially if you have really severe. I know some people who live up in Alaska where literally they're down to like 30 minutes of good sunlight in a couple months, or a day for a couple months. So a lot of people up there use these lights.
And it's freaking cold.
It is cold. All right, Heather, what kind of suggestions do you have to beat these winter blues?
Okay, so mine is probably in direct contrast to sit in the light, but mine is to sit on the couch and watch cool movies like on the Hallmark Channel, those sappy like Christmas love movies. You know how they're going to end, you know what's going to happen, but I love every minute of them. I don't know why. They're so dumb, but I totally love them.
Well, they're life affirming.
Yeah, and it just makes you happy. Yay, the guy got the girl and they all had a nice Christmas, whatever. So it's cute. And I love comedies like The Elf. Oh my gosh. Any of those TBS movies. I mean, just funny stuff. Roll out your favorite movies from back in the day and just crack yourself up.
And they don't even have to be holiday movies. They can just be funny movies.
It's just on my brain right now. Sorry.
Right, exactly. No, but I think Elf and Christmas Story have to be my all-time favorites, and mainly for the two most famous lines between Santa, I know him.
I say that all the time.
I know that one, and I swear I use Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie all the time, and it fits in so many cases. Yeah, in every day.
Yeah, really? Does it?
It really does. It may not make sense, but it works.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you could do too? You posted this recently, but you could get a theme song. And I really love that idea.
It is great.
Again, does not have to be holiday, but something fun to sing. Even if you can't sing, it's totally cool. Turn it up, have yourself a little dance party. And Patty, what was your theme song that you had?
Mine was from Hot Shell Ray, Tonight Tonight, and mostly because it's another fun one to sing. It's very energetic, but I like the message in there too. It's like, whatever, I can handle it. Things roll off me. It's all right, because tonight we're going to have a little dance party. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was a fun article. I'll link to that. Go read that if you haven't already.
I like it.
Yeah. And we've mentioned before too, your sense of smell is directly related to your memory center, the limbic center in your brain. So fire up your diffuser with some happy essential oils like joy, Christmas spirit, named appropriately. Any of the citrus are good to kind of boost your happiness.
You know, my new favorite is
What?
That new Australian. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name.
I love it. I'm diffusing that right now.
Kunya?
Yeah, I don't know. It's called Australian Karana.
Yeah,
Karanya.
that one. And it's an Australian name. That's why it's named that. But every oil in the blend is from Australia. And the strongest note is lemon myrtle.
It's so pleasant.
Oh, it's yummy. So I've got that rolling in my office. And yeah, everyone comes in, they go, oh, it's so fresh in here. Like Australia.
Do they really say like Australia?
I do.
Oh, okay.
That's what I say.
Oh, I thought you said they said that.
They say it's fresh.
You're fresh.
Fresh.
We're devolving.
Okay, go. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, hey, you know what else?
What?
In episode 17, we talked about ideas about essential oils without a diffuser. Totally do that, because then you don't even have to have the water to put in the diffuser. You could just have your bottle, open it and woof it, and you could rub some on your heart, like release would be beautiful. Put on your pressure points. I like it on my wrist. You could use aroma freedom technique, which is actually really interesting. It's a whole procedure, a process that you do, and you follow along and you'll release different emotions and replace them with other things that are more serving. I know it sounds a little fluffy. I will put a link in here, but there's a great book that goes through the whole process. I've taught a class on it, which was really exciting. I kind of liked it. So I recommend doing something like that. Release the holiday baggage from other seasons that you might be holding on to. So, yes.
And don't forget, you can always call a friend or a family member to chat when you're feeling down. I know Heather, talking to you always cheers me up.
Yay!
So Heather, what do you got for a ditch and switch?
Okay, so we haven't mentioned shoving your face headfirst into a bag of Oreos or a tub of Ben and Jerry's. We did talk about the alcohol though, so kind of walking the line here, friends.
But we said that was not the answer.
Solves anything, correct. So you're going to feel good for a minute or two when the salt and the fat hit your tongue, but you're going to beat yourself up later. You're going to get a stomach ache, and you're just going to be, when you get the sugar low, after everything kind of softens in your system, then you feel pretty much like a pile of crap. So I don't know how that's helpful, so don't do that, please. So this week's ditch and switch is to ditch the emotional eating and do something else that we talked about. You know, go watch a show, go smell something lovely, get your light on, dance, whatever. All right?
All right. I think that's amazing. You'll thank us in January.
Promise.
All right. So that'll wrap it up for some suggestions to beat those blues. Again, we're going to link to a lot of the stuff. We talked about a lot of things today. So we're going to link to all those in the show notes. Don't forget, sign up for our newsletter at foodmoose.com. Find us at Food Moose on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. Don't forget about that one. We'd love it if you wrote us a review where you've subscribed to this, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, all of those things. So that's about it from both of us. Go forth, be real. Moose out.